Revelation 3575. From the 12th of October 1945. Godward will, upward development. All spiritual substances which carry the will within themselves to reach me can only ascend in their development, for even temptations of all kinds will no longer change this will, because I draw the spiritual substances to me and will never let them sink back into the state of a will turned away from me again. For as soon as their will of the spiritual strives towards me in full freedom, the spell is broken, it has freed itself from my adversary, and its fight is now only for reclamation, which, however, I prevent through my will. It is indeed still a constant fight of the spiritual, which, embodied as a human being, has to cover earthly life, because ascent development always necessitates a fight. But as soon as the will is meant for me, it also has the strength to resist the enemy of its soul. And it is the human being's own will which determines the time of ascent development and the spiritual success he can achieve at the end of his life. For the human being's striving towards me must again take place in complete free will, although I prevent the adversary from binding his will and making him his slave. A human being with a will turned towards me can never again sink into my adversary's power, yet he can completely escape him faster or slower, thus he can be in battle with him for a longer or shorter period of his life. For as soon as his will becomes extraordinarily active, and this activity is expressed as activity of love, the battle will also become easier, he will slacken in accordance with his activity of love. For the opponent succumbs to this weapon. And thus the human being safely escapes his power through loving activity, and his soul matures in a short time and in complete free will. I will never let him fall again, yet he must become a lovingly active of his own accord, for my will withdraws so that his can freely develop for the sake of his perfection. And this is why souls enter the spiritual kingdom in different degrees of maturity at the end of their life, even though they consciously strive towards me, even though they carry the will turned towards me within themselves, for I certainly prevent the adversary's superiority over them, but I do not promote their spiritual upward development through my will if they do not let their will become active themselves. The will turned towards me always provides them with the strength to strive upwards, for I protectively hold my hand over every person who wants to escape my opposing power and has me as his goal. I incessantly draw him towards me. And he will certainly reach his goal, only the duration is determined by himself, because he has free will and can use it at his discretion. Amen.